Hello, beautiful divine beings of light. Welcome to my channel. My name is Angelica, and today we are doing an oracle reading for the week of August 5th. So if that interests you, stay tuned, keep watching. So I'm going to light a bit of sage, and this space is already clean, sage. And I just like to do this and really take time to intentionally move it into that space where we are at. We are meeting because we are meeting astrally, energetically. And so let's do this, shall we? I have already called in my higher self. So if you want to close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths. We will do this together. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Really centering into our heart space where we can receive these messages. So I'm calling in my higher self, as well as my angels, my guides, Archangel Metatron and Sandalphon, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel and Zadkiel, Archangel Haniel and Ariel. A lot of the angels are coming in today to assist us and support us. Calling in the higher self of the beings that are watching this, so that they too may receive exactly what it is that is relevant for them and that will serve them in the highest and best way. Calling in their angels, their guides, to support them and guide them. Calling in the elementals, the fairies, the gnomes, the tree kingdom, Mother Gaia, and calling in any other high benevolent beings, star brothers, sisters that wish to be with us in this moment and support us and guide us. So it is. So today we are doing a reading, and I've already pulled the cards. And so in this reading, what I was intuiting to do was that it'd be a 3-card reading. And so the first card is basically representing what we're working through, the theme that we're working through, whatever challenges might be coming up. The second card is going to represent the goddess, or the archetype, the feminine archetype that we can call on, that we can invoke to work with, so that we can move through this, so that we can integrate the lesson, so that we can consciously become aware and work with this divine feminine aspect that wants to come through for us, and to work with us so that we can integrate the lesson, so that we can heal, so that we can release resistance and become more holistic of a human being in this life. And the third card is going to represent, it's a special card. So it's going to be basically a Reiki blessing. And these cards are actually attuned to Reiki. So it's going to be an empowerment. It's going to be a blessing, so that it's going to help uplift you, support you in integrating these lessons or whatever's coming through. It's going to help you release resistance. It's going to help you heal. It's basically going to help you process in whatever way is going to serve you in the highest and best way. and it's going to serve you for as long as is relevant for you. So it's really powerful. It's a special type of reading that I offer, and it's called a Reiki Oracle. And we go through, we do the reading, we see what's coming up, what's coming forth, and then we basically, with the permission of the other, because I don't do it without anybody else's permission, because that's all in integrity. And so with the permission of the other person, I basically place these energetic imprints or these vibrations in their field, in their energetic field, so that they can work with it, so that they can integrate the lesson for as long as it's relevant. And I've had good feedback so far. So if you're interested, you can definitely hit me up on my website, shoot me an email, or contact me through any of the social media links below and DM me. Right now I'm working on my website so that it's a lot easier to just kind of book something when you want to have it booked, and bam. However, right now it's under construction, just like us. So in the meantime, let's get back to this reading. So the first card that came up for us during this week of August 5th, right? And if it's not August 5th, when you are watching this video, don't worry, all is here and now. So when you're watching this, when you're called to it, when you're drawn to it, is the most perfect, divine, right timing for you. And take what's relevant, as always. Take what's resonant for you, and then just drop the rest. If whatever I say doesn't resonate, okay, don't take it. It's as simple as that. So the first card that I drew from was The Magical Dimensions by LightStar. I really love this deck because it's super magical. It tells us exactly what we need to go and where we need to grow. And it really did. So to the first card, the themes that we are working through right now is sacral chakra. And it says sacral portal. It's the same thing. Sacral chakra this is so synchronous because I just finished all of the sacral chakra videos and Reiki attunements or Reiki blessings to help people move through energy last week. So if you want to visit those videos and see all of the different aspects that we worked through, feel free to go over and, you can, I'll put it up here. I'll put the link up here. I'll put the link down here too. And you can, it's really synchronous because we worked through these last week and it's still coming up and I feel it really strongly within me. So I know that with that being said, I usually intuit a lot of what the collective is going through and what it's moving through. And so the sacral chakra is so much. So if you think about the womb space, it's connected to the womb space, to our sexual area, to these spaces. If you think about the womb space, it's this void space that we are in before we are physically, will we come into this physical world and begin our journey in life, right? It's this void space. So this void space is very watery, and water is, again, it is attributed to emotions, to the moon. It's a very, very watery space that asks us to become more fluid, basically go with the flow in our life. And a lot of us can have so many different blocks in this area around, because there's so many different aspects here. There's money. So we can have guilt or shame around money, or we could say something like money is the root of all evil and it's blocking abundance in our life, right? Sacral chakra is also about relationships. So it could be trusting. Where are we not trusting in our relationships? Which really then is just a mirror, right, for How are we mistrusting ourselves? Do we not trust ourselves to make the best and most right decision for ourselves, or choice for ourselves? Relationships with others, being open, being honoring in that space. So many different aspects of these different aspects. So think about what's coming up for you. Money, relationships, pleasure. We can hold a lot of guilt or resentment or shame around pleasure. Or not allowing ourselves to have pleasure. Not allowing ourselves to stop in the moment and take pleasure in that moment. It does not have to be sexual. It could be literally just going outside and laying on the grass and feeling the blades of grass in your back and smelling the soft air as the breeze, a soft breeze just kind of flows by you, and feeling the sun on your skin and taking it all in that moment of pleasure. It could be a luxurious bath, doing it up with Epsom salt, and putting flowers and saging the room and really just making it luxurious for you. Allowing ourselves to have pleasure in the moment. Desires, our goals, our passion. Are we allowing ourselves to work towards that? Put an effort towards that? Or are we disallowing that because we've been told to get our heads out of the clouds, and you got to get a job, and you got to do this, and you got to support yourself? Our sexuality. We can hold shame and guilt around this too, right? We are so gender fluid now in this day and age that there are some of us that don't identify with female or male. They're very, very fluid in that. And I completely resonate with that. Because even though I'm obviously female, I really I'm a deep feeler. So I feel and experience energy more than anything. And so I'm very, very fluid myself, even though I may call myself she, refer to myself with certain pronouns, but I still am very, very about the energy and about allowing it to flow, because that is my native tongue, if you will. So there's sexuality, allowing ourselves to express that, be expressive in it, and not allow ourselves to feel shame or guilt about who we are, especially if we are authentically and vulnerably expressing ourselves. That's within alignment within our soul, within who we actually are. There's so many different things. Being receptive, because the sacral chakra is a feminine energy that we're working with here. So it's really awesome that I was guided to work with the goddess energy, because this is a feminine energy. It's receptive. Think about a woman. She receives, right? If we're talking about the aspect of sex, she receives. Yes, she gives too, but we have the yoni. We're receiving. And when we don't allow ourselves to receive, like we don't allow ourselves to receive a compliment or receive abundance or receive a gift that somebody's giving us. Oh, no. Like a lot of people they have issues around money. Like say you give a ride to somebody somewhere and they want to give you money for it. And you're like, no. Why? Why are you not allowing yourself to receive? Because you gave. And some of us don't allow ourselves to receive because we're only taught to give, or we're maybe taught that we hold some kind of belief around, it's better to give than to receive, right? That can really start to, if we tell ourselves that over and over and over again, it can create this belief that we can only allow ourselves to give and not receive, and which creates an energetic imbalance, which is then translated into the boundaries. It can be translated into unhealthy boundaries that we hold or don't hold. As a child, I was not allowed to have any boundaries. People stepped all over me. I allowed people to just step all over me. And I got so tired of it. By the time I was a teenager, I was like, fuck this, fuck you, I'm tired of this shit. And I completely pushed people away. And so I went the opposite way, right? I let people step all over me to the point where I got so pissed where I pushed everybody away. And so it's the same, it's the two different sides of the same coin. And so there's boundaries, there's receptivity, there's this energy of feminine essence, that we're balancing the feminine aspect within ourselves. Whatever that means to you, however you express that. And if you don't allow yourself to express that, why not? Do you feel like it's bad? Do you feel like it makes you weak to express feminine energy or express emotions? Because this is about emotions as well. Are we not allowing ourselves to express all spectrum of emotions? Happy, sad, crying, anything. It's not just happy and sad. There's a whole spectrum there, right? Sorry, I'm channeling, and I'm hearing all kinds of different things come through. So this is about all kinds of things that we're working on. So just always my best advice is always to take a couple of deep breaths. Close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Drop into your heart and ask what's coming up for you. If you can't feel it, because for me, for a long time, I couldn't feel my emotions. I couldn't feel what was going on because I numbed myself for so long. So I've had to do a lot of work to really feel, even though I was always a deep feeler anyway. So it was really this paradoxical thing that was happening to me. And so drop into your heart. Feel what's coming up for you. Is it relationship stuff? Is it stuff around like blocks and issues or beliefs around money, around abundance? Are you allowing yourself to receive? Are you allowing yourself to experience all emotions without feeling shame or guilt for expressing them? Feel into what's coming up for you. So, because this is a big energy that we're working with and through during this time. And so the goddess that came through for us to work with is perfect. And I don't know how to pronounce her name because I am not familiar with her at all. But it's either Gula or Gula, I'm not sure. And she is this beautiful depiction in the Goddess Power Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And just from the card, I see a snake around her finger, right? That says to me Kundalini energy being allowed to rise within us. So stripping away those blocks, or basically releasing those blocks, releasing those issues, integrating whatever needs to be integrated within us. My eye is drawn to the red, the orange, and the yellow, and which represents to me the first three chakras, where a lot of human beings are still stuck in. We're stuck in these lower energy centers and not fully starting to integrate the rest of them. The heart, up to the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And, the rest of them, but we're not talking about that now. Now, I'm drawn to the energy of the first three chakras because that's where we can get stuck. That's where we have a lot of like really heavy, dense emotions and energies holding onto, around beliefs, around thoughts, around so much here. And the green to me represents the healing that this goddess is wanting to bring us. So let's get to her message. So the message from her is Gula or Gola. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Please let me know in the comments. The Babylonian goddess of medicine and healing has come to guide you as a blessing and for your well-being. Perhaps you're being invited to address the areas of your life that need healing. And this makes complete sense that we're dealing with the sacral chakra, because a lot of that needs to be healed right now. We're healing a lot of that now, actually. Perhaps you have moved so quickly through your life that you've forgotten about self-care. This is also about self-care too. Sacral chakra, self-love, self-care, self-confidence, self-esteem. Yeah, all of it. Perhaps the stories you've told yourself about who you are need healing. We don't always see that we are hurting ourselves or others. Take heart, for Gula comes into your world as your ally, saying that now is the most auspicious time to focus on healing in all aspects of your life. Only good things will come from your actions here. In fact, now is also the perfect time when you can be assured that you can heal rifts with others as well. Be sincere and call upon Gula for this precious commitment. You may also be called to the path of the healer now. If so, the goddess Gula supports this wholeheartedly. You just need to be willing, respect others, and do no harm. Miracles will arise as if out of nowhere. The goddess Gula calls you to recognize that you're running on empty. You have nothing left to give. You have reached the end of the road, and you must stop what you are doing and consider the implications of your actions run amok. Do you need to set better boundaries around your enthusiastic tendency to say yes to everything? Have you allowed others to drain you because you feel it's your job to listen, to love them, and fix them? Do your close companions cling to their victim stories and continue to impose them on you? Your alignment task is to step back and assess what is true and make new choices, and maybe put yourself first. You will be glad you did. Just remember that it is sometimes the healing choice to take a break. Just remember that it is sometimes the healing choice to take a break and only focus on you for a change. And she brings up a great message around boundaries, because sometimes as an empath, as a sensitive person, and when we have these extra sensitivities or we have really bad, unhealthy boundaries, we can say yes to everything. We can start people pleasing. And I've had to work through a lot of this. I'm still working through it, matter of fact. And we can have this tendency to allow others to stay in their victim story, or ourselves to stay into our victim story. And one of the first addictions I've learned recently is the addiction to suffering, the addiction to victimhood, to staying the victim, to being the victim, to always create something else to be disempowered about. Oh, look at this. Nothing ever happens my way. Look, it's happening again, and I can never get ahead, and blah, blah, blah. And we keep telling ourselves this story. Are you telling yourself this story, or are you allowing other people to tell yourself this story? Are you allowing other people to hold on to that? Maybe it's time to take a step back and say, you know what? I don't have the time to listen to that today. I'm taking care of myself. I'm going to concentrate and work on my boundaries, because we're only empowered as we allow ourselves to be. And if we allow others to really just bombard us with their stories of victimhood all the time, or just to come in and drain us. And, you know, because we're listeners, we're healers, we're sensitives, and people feel that on a subconscious level that they don't realize, and we're allowing them to take our energy. And so then the energy becomes imbalanced again in that light. And then it's like they're taking, and we're allowing them to take. Nobody can take and drain our energy unless we are giving them permission to do so. So it's time to step the fuck up, basically, and really become aware and conscious in our own unhealthy boundaries or unhealthy tendencies, where we are allowing people to take our energy and say, no, I don't know. Or just say, like, I'm busy. You know, I'm busy. And then go take a bath, a luxurious bath, or go to the spa and pamper yourself. Allow yourself that time to rejuvenate and regenerate, because you cannot fill others from an empty cup. You then start using your own life force to fill others. And that's not what we want to do here. Energetically speaking, you're draining your life force. So if you're not rejuvenating, regenerating yourself first, you're using your own life force energy to fill others. So with that, it's a really beautiful message that she's coming to give us. And you can research her, look her up online, invoke her, work with her, just call her forward. You know, just clear your space. If you don't have sage or whatever, who cares? Just say, okay, I'm going to clear my space. With my intention, I'm clearing my space. And I'm calling forth my higher self, my guides, my angels, whoever you want to call forth. And then just call her forth. I call forth the Babylonian goddess Gula for her to work with me through, what do I need to see? Maybe you're not aware of what wants to come through. Like, what do I need to see? What do I need to heal? What wants to be healed during this time? And work with her that way. And so, moving on to the third card. 2 cards actually fell out for this one. And this is where we do the Reiki blessing, the Reiki empowerment. And the first one is integration. And this is an earth card. An earth integration is all about bringing those aspects that have been fragmented off into integration. We're literally remembering ourselves. Remembering, like literally putting the pieces of ourselves back together. That's what integration is. So what happens in times of trauma is, what can happen is, say, let's take this little piece of, what happens in times of trauma is that, and we have no kind of resolve for it. So say we're a child, we don't quite understand what's going on. Nobody explains it to us. People just say, oh, that is the way it is, blah, blah, blah. And we experience some kind of traumatic event. It can be all across the spectrum. And we have no resolve for it. We have no idea how to define it in our minds so that we can really come to a focused, like, resolve. Like, oh, okay, I understand what's happening here. Okay, I can move on with this. Something happens traumatically. This is what happens. It's a bit of an aggressive analogy, but this is kind of what happens. So this part gets broken off, and then it gets pushed down into the subconscious mind. And now this part is still there, right? This part is still there. It's still, you know, it's still acting, and I just lost it. And sometimes that happens. That's a really good analogy. Sometimes, you know, it just gets pushed down. It's still here. It's still talking. It's still this aspect of ourself that's talking, but maybe it's now aggressive. Maybe it's this part, you know, this part that's missing It's now an addiction. It's now passive aggressiveness. It's now some kind of trigger that triggers anger and resentment, and for us to lash out in violence, or maybe not. I've had this as well. And so what we do through the healing process, through shadow work, I also guide people through shadow work too. You can always go through my social media links to book with me. Is what we do through shadow work is we start to integrate these pieces. We find this piece, we locate this piece, and we love on this piece. We accept this piece. We explain to this piece what happened. We find resolve for this piece. And this piece, maybe I should have used Play-Doh, because with Play-Doh you can actually reintegrate it. So pretend this is all like, this becomes then rehealed. So it's like, you know, the stick that I had before. And that's what happens when we integrate. When we're reintegrating something, we're reintroducing that aspect of us that got fragmented off during some kind of traumatic event, whether it was in this life, whether it was childhood, teenagehood, anywhere through our adult life, or even a past life. Because we carry past life. It's really a parallel life that we're carrying forth. It's resonating on those certain vibrational frequencies for us to heal them. And so through integration, we become more whole. And integration is just about bringing like the aspects of duality together and becoming the Trinity. Becoming the Trinity, literally. And it's an earth card. So we're literally reintegrating that into our... It's funny because we're working with the energy. However, the more I've done this kind of energy work and worked with the energy of the hurts and the traumas that I've experienced, it's helped me to become more grounded in myself, become more grateful for this life, for this physical life, and become more present in the moment, in this physical reality moment. So it's a very, very physical card, even though we might be working on an energetic layer. So it's a really cool paradox that's happening there. Let's see. Let's do the whatchamacallit first. The description. That is the official term for it. The whatchamacallit. Integration. Integration happens when reasoning moves from theoretical understanding to active embodiment. The human experience is punctuated by the sacred duality. To thrive, we must be willing to pierce through these seeming contradictions and walk in life. Living the... Let me start that over. To thrive, we must be willing to pierce through these seeming contradictions and walk in life, living the vision for unity, tolerance, and understand the sublime divinity is expressed in all things, even in darkness. You are entering a period of integration. Get plenty of rest and practice self-care. Excuse the loud truck. Integration must occur before you can move forward. What is fragmenting you? So what issues are coming up, basically? In that sacral area, sacral issues that have become fragmented. And so the other card that fell through is gratitude. And gratitude is a fire card. And gratitude, when we give gratitude... Sorry, I'm trying to find the... I don't know why it's... There it is. Okay, I found it. So, with gratitude, when we give gratitude, it's basically... this vibration that is very, very close to what we might refer to as magic. When we practice gratitude and really feel that feeling, it's wonderfully and magically magnetizing more to be grateful for in this life. And what I would even say, to take it a step further, I mean, we can actually first practice giving gratitude to the obvious things in your life. You know, I'm grateful for a roof over my head, or for a lot, you know, friends that understand me, family that is supportive, or whatever is in your life. And then we can take this a step further, so long as you can really truly find the feeling. The feeling state is what is really important with this, is gratitude, because you have to feel the feeling in order to gravitate in order to magnetize more to be grateful for, because this is the law of attraction that's working for us. So we got to create the feeling of it, the vibration of it, the frequency of it, become that frequency, emanate that frequency, radiate that frequency. So then it is then emanating, radiating from us, right? And then, because this is a holographic universe that is mirroring to us all things, all vibrations that we are, then it comes back to us. You know, it comes back to us tenfold. It comes back to us threefold. It comes back to us in the amount of energy that we're giving out, but even more so sometimes. So you can even, I'm not going to even go there. So you could even you can even do an affirmation of, like, you know, as I practice gratitude, as I practice the vibration and the feeling state of gratitude, that energy comes back to me tenfold. That's a really good affirmation that I just made up. So when we practice gratitude, we are practicing this vibration of being thankful, being grateful for all of the parts, maybe all of the situations, all of the traumas or traumatic events that happen to us, so that we could come back into this awareness of ourselves, of, hey, this aspect of yourself, this part of yourself that is crying and is traumatized, you need to love it. It's time to love it. It's time to accept it, and to give forgiveness to yourself, to others, whatever needs to happen, so that this piece can be reintegrated back into your conscious mind, and so that we can then become more holistic, functioning beings. So that aspect of us is now conscious rather than subconscious, right? So giving gratitude, let's do the description. Gratitude is the most powerful healer. It magnetizes goodness and is the closest vibration to magic. If you're feeling stuck, try getting into resonance with gratitude. Practice becoming consciously thankful for every beautiful thing in your life. What are you grateful for? When was the last time you gave thanks to life? Your gratitude has attracted more of what you love. Remember to stay thankful as you receive it. There is a part in here. That's the part. It says, if you're feeling stuck, practice gratitude, basically. And that goes for times that we're feeling angry or sad, and we really want to, there are times to really stay in that and really feel it, you know, those lower vibrational states, because it helps us to actually move those energies through our body so that we can become more integrated, more light. So this is really dependent on how you feel in each moment. So whether you stay in that state and say, like, I really need to feel this right now, this is what's coming up for me, I really need to feel this, or sometimes we have to shift it because we're just like, it's maybe not in resonance for us to stay in like a bad mood or to feel anger in that moment. Sometimes it's more beneficial for us to practice shifting our vibrational frequency. So our state of being. So in those moments when you're feeling like, okay, I really want to shift this for myself. It feels better to practice shifting into a higher vibration. Practice gratitude. Go directly into what you're grateful for. Write a list if you have to, and then just read through it and really feel into like I'm grateful for having a roof over my head. Like feel into all the reasons why. Like, you know, it helps me stay cool in summer. It helps me to stay warm in winter. And like, if I had to be outside in the streets during cold months, I'd be so cold. So I'm so grateful for having this roof over my head and having heat and having food to eat and having more than enough to eat, to nourish myself, to nourish my body. Imagine not having enough or having to scrounge. Really go into those feelings of gratitude. So for this last part, for gratitude and integration, we will now do a short Reiki transmission to help integrate, also to help empower. And it's like an empowerment blessing type thing that helps us to integrate, helps us to release whatever needs to be released. It helps us to work with these vibrations so that we can learn the lessons, so that we can become more integrated, so that we can really move forward in the highest and best way, the way that best serves us, and we work with it for as long as is relevant for us. So if it's all of our life, then we work for it. It's there with us for all of our life. So all you need to do to accept these and to work with these is to just, through your intention, and say like, okay, as we close our eyes, just say, okay, I accept, I open to receiving. That's really all you have to say. If you want to say more, you can say more. It's really just a thought of like, okay, I'm opening to receive this blessing. I'm opening to receive this empowerment. And so it is. So let's do this. So closing your eyes, taking a couple of deep breaths to really recenter, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I am going to start running the Reiki blessing. So running the Reiki. Placing these blessings of integration and of gratitude into your energetic field, so long as you intend to receive them. And you will work with them for as long as is relevant to you, so that you may integrate the lessons that you came here to learn, so that you may release the resistance that is keeping you from living your greatest life, being the best version of yourself. And so that you may heal these aspects of the sacral chakra that are coming up for you now. And you will work with these for as long as is relevant for you. quite a bit of energy running through the sacral chakra. And this will allow the Kundalini energy, that serpent energy that runs along our spine, to flow more freely, working through and processing through these blocks that are coming up, these issues and themes that are coming up in the sacral chakra. And allowing yourself to stay in this place, in this space, for as long as calls to you. Knowing that you can come back to it whenever you wish. You can replay the video. You can just call on the vibration yourself. You do not have to rely on me or this video to tap back into these vibrations. You can do it yourself. That's what empowerment is. And so this was a really powerful reading. It's my intention that it serves you and empowers you and inspires you in the highest and best way, always. Let me know down in the comments what's coming up for you right now. What are you moving through? How did the Reiki flow for you? How did it feel? Did you feel anything? Because I really am always curious to know, like, I always ask people, what did you feel? What did you experience when I'm working with Reiki? And so comment down below anything about this video. More, you can always even give me different ideas for other readings, different things that we can focus on. And be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment down below, help that algorithm out, and help these videos really get distributed and come up, pop up for people that are really looking for this type of information, because right now is a really vital time for us to really tap into these knowingness, back into our own empowerment, into our own sovereignty. I like to teach people to be empowered within themselves. Decide for yourself. Take what's in resonance. Leave what's not. Because that's how we become truly empowered. We don't have to just take what somebody else says for, we could take it with a grain of salt and say, okay, take what resonates and I'm going to leave the rest. I don't have to believe everything they're saying or resonate with everything they're saying. I can take what's relevant to me and in my my own journey right now. So that's what I encourage. So be sure to also hit that bell button so that you are notified whenever I come out with a new oracle reading. I am also going through the chakra series right this week. We're going to start on the yellow chakra of empowerment of our divine will center, and really focusing on honing that in and moving whatever energies are stagnant or wanting and asking us to move right now in this moment. So look out for those. Look out for other videos that I'm going to be posting in the future. There's so much. So hit that bell button so that you're notified whenever I come out with a new video. Let me know how this goes for you. Comment down below. I will leave all my links, social media, my website, everything down below. Thank you so much for watching and receiving. And as always, infinite love, blessings, and remember that you are a freaking amazing being, and be empowered. See you later. Bye.